Thank you for clicking on this link. My name is Mark. I'm going to walk you through some additional information that you're going to want to have if you're interested in this job opportunity. And I'm going to go over information about the company and where you are in the process and additional information that's not on the web. So let's just jump right in. Again, this is an audio overview of all the information that might be valuable to you regarding the Reticle driver job. It's a full-time job at Logisticorp. Now, this is a 40-hour work week opportunity, full-time with benefits. You're not a contractor, you're a full-time employee. So want to make that clear up front. It is a driving job, and the most important part to know about is that the daily route for the work is driving from Dallas to Austin and back. So if you love that drive, you'll be able to do it every day. Okay, so more information. You're not going to be driving a truck. We have a car. Sometimes we have a van. Right now we've got a Toyota Prius because we don't have a big load of stuff. So it's basically a comfortable kickback drive. Now, the schedule is 4/10s. So what that means is you've got 4 days of work, 10-hour days, and then you're off 3 days a week. So you get a full-time job with a ton of extra free time. So one of the things that you should also know is that the daily route starts up in North Dallas. So right near intersection of 635 and 75, if you're familiar with that area. If you're anywhere in the Addison, Garland, North Dallas, Richardson area, then you're golden. It's close to you. Okay, no over-the-road travel, no long drives, no overnight stays, none of that. It's all down and back. But it is a swing shift also. So if you didn't notice already, it's at late in the afternoon until late at night. And then you're back home before morning. So that's the drill. And the days off are during the week. So take a look at the job description on that just to make sure. We're going to double check that that's okay with you. But more information about the job is important for you to know, because if this is right for you, then we want to talk to you ASAP. If it's not right, well, then we don't waste your time. You get all the information up front and you can decide to move on to something else. But I should tell you for right now, congratulations, because you're actually already like pre-qualified in the process. So the way this works is you either got an email from us or you saw a job posting or something, and then you responded, and either we already reviewed your background or you were given some pre-qualification questions to answer. And so if you have passed all that, you've gotten to a place now where we've invited you to have this additional information, and we want you to give us some additional information. So normally what would happen is we would have a recruiter try to call you and schedule a phone interview. That's a hassle because, you know, weekend's coming up and all of a sudden it gets pushed to next week and it just takes too long. Also, rescheduling makes everything take longer than it should. Doing it this way, we're able to get you something to listen to, so you can listen to this in your car, on the road, whatever, and you can, listen to it multiple times, whatever you want to do, and you get all the information that we would normally provide over the phone, probably even a little more. And then if this is interesting to you, there's a link already that we've provided to you as next steps. That's to a questionnaire. Very straightforward, pretty simple, most of it yes and no questions, and that gives us information to be able to help figure out where to put you in the process. So congratulations again, because you're already kind of in the middle of this whole process and you don't even know it. After you respond to us and provide us some additional information, then at that point, we have another conversation with you by phone, and you could potentially be scheduled for an interview with the hiring manager right away, and then boom, it's off to the process. So to figure out if this is an ideal opportunity for you, let me just ask you something. Does this sound like you? You're looking for a new opportunity. Maybe you're in transition, you're between jobs, you have total flexibility, you can work whenever you want, and you're open to it. I mean, that's great. Or maybe you're just looking for a little bit more money. Maybe you're in a place where you're not earning as much as you could. That's good too. But if you're also looking for a better job and you're looking long term, like you want to get some skills or you want to have, a strong company on your resume, I'm going to tell you that that's like the most valuable thing you could get. That's more valuable than the money, because once you have a resume that shows you have longevity with a well-respected, large, established regional or international company, man, you just look so much better compared to your peer group, and you have many, many more options available to you in the future. So more on that a little bit later, but that to me is like the most important thing. So let me explain how I know this stuff and why I can share this information with you. I'm the recruiting manager. It's my job to create like a win-win relationship between all the different stakeholders. So as a candidate, like I said, we've already looked at your background. You got to win. Like, this has got to be a good opportunity for you. Yeah, the money might be okay, and the hours are cool because you have a lot of free time. You could have another job even, but you're getting a lot of great experience on a resume. So you win, but also whoever is part of your life, they need to win too. You've got family at home probably. They need to feel like, hey, you got a good opportunity. And then we win as a company because we got a great person like you. And then our customers win because they like you and you're responsive and dependable. And so like everybody wins. That's what we're looking for. And that's my job to try to figure out how to make that happen. Now, I would say this is a little bit time sensitive because we're looking for somebody ASAP. However, we're not going to just go with the first person and boom, hire somebody just because they can fog a mirror. That ain't going to happen. We're looking for the right person. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is like one of the little keys that you should remember. People skills are important. Even though you're driving and you're in a car most of the time on the shifts, you're interacting with people and our customers and our internal teams and department leaders in multiple locations. And you're going to see the same people every day, because this isn't like driving for Amazon or, some other organization where you're dealing with the general public. You're not dealing with the public. You're not dealing with customers. You're not going to residences. You're going to regular commercial buildings that are part of our warehouse infrastructure here in North Texas. So you're going to be seeing the same people all the time. You're going to be building relationships with these folks over time. And that's why you got to be good people. You got to be a good communicator. So, again, if you're the right person, then we're going to move this pretty quickly. I'll tell you that. Now, I can also say that there's no artificial intelligence or, automated anything going on here. These are all real people. I'm actually recording this overview specifically for this job for you so that you can listen to this anytime, right here in North Texas. So just outside of Dallas. Now, we know some people, they might need to give notice, if they are working a full-time job already or whatever. We do have some flexibility. So I'm just going to let you know that up front. If you feel like you've got to, back out of an existing job and you need some time, we'll work with you on that. So let me explain real quick the companies that are involved here, because if you get any emails from us, we're Proforce. We are the third-party recruiting company that is like the partner of Logisticorp to handle all their recruiting. And that's why you see that in some of the emails. We're not the hiring company, okay? We're not a staffing company. You're not coming to work for us. We're just the business partner that helps Logisticorp find their people. So that means you're going to work for Logisticorp. It's a very large company that has global client relationships, operates in multiple states. They've got clients in telecom and public utilities and the semiconductor industry, very, very well established, hundreds of team members. So when you go to work for a 20-year-old transportation and supply chain company that's regionally recognized, that's good for the resume. But then wait till you hear who the customers are that we service. That's going to look even better on the resume. So at this point, let me tell you a little bit more about the company, because I think when people want to explore a job, again, the money might be good or the opportunity might be good, but it's got to be a great place to work. One of the things that you'll find here is a huge focus on the culture, and that shows up in the core values. So the core values for the business include value creation. That means how we serve the customers, creating value for them. Continuous improvement. That means we're constantly striving to get better every day in what we're doing. Accountability. Like, everybody takes personal responsibility for what they're doing. You're not going to have a bunch of people slacking. That's just not going to happen. And if you've been in an environment where that occurs and you got to pick up for other people's mess, that's not cool. Integrity, another core value. That's huge. We want you to be honest and truthful and transparent, and you can rely on that between your peers and your supervisors. Quality execution. Always huge focus on quality, trying to do a world-class job in the best way we can. And then finally, diversity. We're a very diverse organization, and we've got all kinds of different perspectives, points of view, and that shows up pretty significantly. We're also a minority-owned business, so we have an appreciation for all the different perspectives. Now, I mentioned already that the job itself starts out in North Dallas near 635 and 75. And at that point, you jump into somebody else's car, our car, and then you're on your way. Again, this is servicing a very large global customer of ours. We have a multi-year relationship with this very large company to supply services that include transportation, logistics, and supply chain support. So that means this is a permanent job and it's not going away anytime soon. Okay, let me describe a little bit more about the day in the life of the work. So what you're transporting are super fragile stuff related to computers. And everything is delicate, so like you can't go off-roading when you're out driving around. You've got to be on point and careful, and you'll be handling these things, these computer parts, and making sure that when you pick up and you drop off, everything's accounted for. So it's not rocket science, and it's not heavy stuff, and there's no forklifts. It's pretty straightforward. But it does require you to be physically fit. You got to have, general knowledge of shipping in general, just to be able to manage the process. You got to be super punctual and dependable. Okay, so on that point, let me just stress that if you're relying on public transportation to get to work, it's probably not going to be the right job for you, because public transportation is not always reliable, and we can't have somebody missing a shift. And you know what? You don't want to get fired from a job because your bus was late. I mean, that's something that's all of a sudden on your resume going forward. Not good. If you need transportation, public transportation, you need to find a job where that's flexible for you, and they understand that, and they're just appreciative to have you on the team. That's probably not going to work here because everything is so schedule driven. So you really need to have your own transportation. Other duties and responsibilities include you got to be able to check your phone because there's an app that's downloaded onto the phone to be able to check in and out, track time. You have pre-trip and post-trip inspections of the vehicle and the equipment and the cargo. Any maintenance issues have to be reported. So if you've been a driver in any capacity, none of this stuff's unfamiliar to you. There are several different places in Dallas and Austin where you may be picking up and dropping off, but they're all part of the infrastructure of our organization. So either within our business or our client's business, there's an existing set of manufacturing and warehouse operations where you're just going to regularly visit those same locations day after day. So the pay is $15. You should have already seen that on the job posting. Now that is the pay rate to start, and that is a flat rate. If you have overtime, it is time and a half. The business is also paying for a 401k match, and you have full benefits available to you. So health, dental, vision, group life, all the rest. When you add up all that stuff, it actually is pretty aggressive. We pay weekly, so if it's important to you, get a paycheck every week. That's super convenient. But I think more importantly, from a career perspective, this is the kind of deal where you jump in, you're working here for a year, 2 years. It looks great on a resume. You have the ability to go, anywhere, do anything, or be promoted within the company because we have other opportunities as well. So I would just challenge you to, you can look at the money and you can look at, the immediate benefits that are available to you. But the real opportunity is a long-term chance to kind of change your life, build a career set of capabilities. And even if you don't stay in transportation, supply chain, logistics, or delivery operations, even if you decide to go out of this field and do something different, it looks good on the resume if you show longevity and you're working for a well-established large organization. Okay, it's just I could tell you, having been in recruiting for 20 plus years, that's one of the best pieces of sage advice I could give you as a candidate. Have longevity in a super well-respected, well-known, established company, and it changes your resume forever. Okay, a couple requirements, and then we'll try to wrap this up because it's going a little longer than I had hoped. You got to have a Class C driver's license in good standing. Okay, that's a basic driver's license. It's not a CDL. You got to have at least 3 years of verifiable driving history. So you can't be like just got your driver's license a year ago. High school diploma or equivalent is all you need. You do have to have a cell phone with data because you're going to be using an app. There's other technology that we're going to provide you, so you got to be comfortable with that. You're going to have to pass a driver's test. Make sure you are operating safely. We're going to pull a motor vehicle records check. So if you got a couple accidents in your recent history or a DWI, it's not going to work. You got to have a clean criminal record too. And we don't have the flexibility of giving people second chances if they have felonies. So that's an issue. And if there's something else that is a violent related crime, that's going to be a problem as well. We have contract limitations. So just want to let you know that up front. And then also, if you don't already have a medical DOT card, what that is a Department of Transportation medical authorization card that shows that you've passed a physical and you're able to sit in a car and drive and not have some type of a medical emergency while you're driving that puts other people at risk. So we can help you get through that. It's just a quick exam if you don't already have it. And matter of fact, we'll ask you if you already do because that's helpful. And then, of course, just some basic skills like math skills, computer skills, being able to read and write in English, being able to speak and talk and hear, and being able to pass a drug test. So pretty straightforward. There's some lifting involved. So you got to be able to put stuff up over your shoulders, like up on a shelf. You got to be able to lift at least 40 pounds repeatedly. And that's not going to be a regular thing, but if it is, then you have to be able to do that. We do have some pushing and pulling of boxes that could be 60 pounds. So, you may not be lifting them, but you got to be able to at least shift them and move them around. So that's another thing. And then, of course, driving back and forth to Austin is 350 miles or something. I mean, it's a full day of back and forth. So you got to be able to be comfortable sitting and doing that without any issues. Okay, so let me wrap this up, because if you're still listening to me and this is interesting to you, that's fantastic, because we're already interested in you based on your background. So what we want to do is we want to give you a chance to give us some information to supplement what's on your resume. We need this. It's part of the pre-interview process. So on the email that we've sent you with this link to this audio video, look for the link to download the position profile. That's the complete job description with the total rewards for the company. That's all the benefits. Look at that stuff. Understand this is a big deal. It's a great organization. Then click on the link that has the questionnaire. It's pretty straightforward. Give us the information we need to be able to get you moved to the next step. And we're going to be watching for that. Because that's what we need to be able to match you up with your resume and then pitch you to the hiring manager. Okay, so again, we put this together so that we don't have to actually schedule a conversation with you. It's just easier to give you this to listen to, and then you can answer the questions without being under pressure. I've always hated it when you got a call from a recruiter and you were on the spot, and it's like, man, you got to come up with all those answers with no notice. In this case, you have all the questions on the questionnaire, and you can answer them at your leisure, and be as thoughtful about that as possible. And that's good. We want you to be the best version of you when you submit that information back to us. Okay, so I guess the last thing I could say is, if for some reason you're not selected for this job, don't be discouraged. We believe that for everybody, there's a great opportunity out there. It's just a matter of finding it. So to help you find your sweet spot, what we'll do is, when we let you know that you're not selected, if that happens, then we'll give you access to some career resources that'll help you with your resume and interviewing, so that it'll help you on your career journey. It's the least we could do to say thank you for being a candidate and participating in this process. All right. Okay. That's it for me. And I'll give you back your time. Thank you for listening. And we'll look forward to hearing from you in the process.